Today we are going to be talking about the 8BitDo Ultimate 2 wireless controller, or as 8bit calls it on their website, the ultimate flagship upgrade. I bought it for myself because I wanted something that was, well, just better. And I wish I was sponsored by 8BitDo, but they won't return any of my emails. Not only did I purchase this controller, but after a short while, my son tried it and he wanted one too. So we also sold his old PS5 controller and now he has one too. The funny thing is that we got as much for his old used PS5 controller as we paid for this new controller. And that makes no sense because this 8BitDo Ultimate controller is just miles ahead when it comes to build quality and performance. But as a purchaser, someone who's looking for a controller, here are the two things that caught my eyes and why I purchased these. Number one is the 2.4 GHz connection instead of Bluetooth. For me personally, that's a game changer because I know how much faster 2.4 GHz is compared to Bluetooth when we are talking about in a mouse or in a wireless keyboard. Bluetooth might work flawlessly between two Apple devices, but when it comes to other devices, sometimes they work just like poop. The second thing is the charging dock. The charging dock is the 2.4 GHz dongle, which is just super nice. To have one and done, both the charger and the connectivity in one, and without ever hassling with the Bluetooth, that's really what sold it for me. To always have a controller that's fully charged and always connected, actually, or no cap as the young people would say, made me game more and have more fun gaming than before I had this controller. Before, when I wanted just a 10-minute gaming session with Spider-Man Hogwarts or something like Tony Hawk's, I had to fiddle around with Bluetooth and sometimes a controller without any power on it. And here are some bonus things I've noticed over the 3 months of using this controller as my daily driver. The range of the controller is really great. I had a project where I used my controller all the way in my living room, even though the dongle is here in my office. That's maybe 30 or 40 meters away. The ergonomics is fantastic. Even though I've never personally been a fan of the Xbox layout, I've always, the little time I really used a controller, always used the PlayStation controller. And I'm no professor in stick drift, so I have no measurable way of testing this. But as far as I've heard, if you have it, then you'll know. So I guess I don't have it in this. The sticks are TMR, which I have no idea what means. But in the real world, it means for me that they are feel really sturdy, rock solid, and they are really responsive too. The buttons here feel really responsive and snappy. When I compared it to my PlayStation 5 controller, that all of a sudden that controller felt really muddy, like a spongy compared to this. And I know this is a personal opinion, but everything about this controller seems so well built. Everything from the surface feel to the weight and to the way the vibration works in this controller feels like it's really thought out. So after 3 months of using this controller almost daily, I can say with the confidence that you should subscribe.
Oh brother, this guy stinks!
I can really put my full weight behind the recommendation of this controller. And since I hope, and I'm really brown-nosing 8BitDo here, I really hope that at some point I will get big enough here on YouTube to get these controllers sent to me so I don't have to purchase everything myself. I'm going to tell you about all of the features of this controller. The controller is officially supported by Apple. It's compatible with iPhones, iMac, iPad, Apple TV, and Apple Vision Pro. It's also compatible with Steam and optimized to use for the Steam Deck. The triggers here on the other side is Hall effect, and you can actually switch between having a clicky switch here and having a more traditional full range switch. So that's super cool if you are into like a more tactile, maybe a shooting game or something like that. It has 6-axis motion control, which I've never tried, and extra remappable buttons that I'm just starting to get into finding some use for. And according to 8BitDo, the 2.4 GHz has an ultra low latency connection of 1 millisecond at up to 10 meters of distance. And I have no way of measuring this, but I can say in the real world, from a real world experience, that latency matters a lot. Compared to a Bluetooth controller that I had before, for the original PlayStation 5 controller, I can feel that there is noticeably better latency in this. As someone who's usually been a PC user with a mouse that's really fast and a keyboard that's also fast, playing with a Bluetooth controller sometimes feels slow and muddy, but this doesn't. This feels like it's just like you are using a mouse. This is instant. And for when you're playing something like Tony Hawk's Pro Skater and trying to nail that 1 million combo, this really makes a difference. So for me, I feel the latency, and if I can feel the latency, there must be a noticeable difference because I'm over 35 years old and my reaction time is not as fast as the young kids. As my 10-year-old son say, he feels like he's better at gaming when using the new controller. I didn't try to fish it out from him. He just told me he's better at being Spider-Man with the new controller. Inside of the dock hides an USB-C stick and a small adapter to connect to USB-C devices. I'm guessing that's to connect to either a phone, an iPad, or something like the Steam Deck. And then the RGB on the controller can be remapped and controlled. That's not something that I care about. In the software that I have never used, you can tune anything from sensitivity and control how much and how little you want the vibration to. And all of this for a very cheap price of about $59. We paid even less in the holiday discounts and got it for just over $50 in our country, and I think in the US it's even cheaper. So if that is not an ultimate flagship upgrade for that price, I don't know what is. And if you like this video, consider watching my video of my home office here. I hope to see you over there as well. Otherwise, thank you so much for watching. Bye.